toss, you know. They don't want anybody to be running over them, so you're right. They do try to establish themselves early in the game.
George Best will be up here in a moment. Bradford takes the free kick, far side. Ratonski got the head. Hunter swings and misses. And then Oates flicked it toward the goal, and Hewitt has to punch it over the top.
Boy, that was kind of a strange turn of events, Julie.
Right, that was a missed kick by Hunter, and Mike had no alternative but to punch it over the bar. And here it is. There's a replay. And, of course, that results in a corner kick.
George just broke the all-time record for getting up here from the field. Do you think he's not in shape?
Not anymore.
Well, you can tell it's the end of the season.
We were describing the form of that young lady kicking that ball out. Soccer form not too good, George, but the rest of it wasn't bad.
Well, so far it's been the best part of the game.
All right. Mike Hunter has it for San Jose. Oates was tripped up. He thought a foul should have been called, but nothing was coming. In the midfield, Hiddink had it, lost it. Number 14, David McGill gets it. George, we were just watching that play a moment ago where Marhatic got tripped up and kind of sandwiched between two defenders. I don't know if you saw that play.
No, I didn't know. But this is a player that has got to be watched very carefully. You know, he's tremendous skills.
I'm sure a player like yourself, though, you've had the same thing happen to you. Early in the game, some big, burly defensive player will come up and really nail you just to make you think a little.
It's usually the way, you know, coaches usually tell players to go out. And the guy that's got a lot of skill, they say go out, let them know you're there early on. And some players tend to, you know, give in. But I don't think this young kid will. He's tremendous ability.
Here's David now trying to go around the man one-on-one. Hagen takes it right away from him. Fine play by Jim Hagen. Marhatic, somewhat similar to Steve David, I would think, in his offensive skills. Very talented once he gets the ball, and he can get himself open in a position to shoot, which very few players can do. Now Jim Brown boots it away. Brown has 9 shutouts this year. The Express on the move. Nardiello had it. Now Marhatic. Marhatic tripped up by Ratonski.
You don't have much trouble spotting Marhatic out there, do you, Pat?
I was wondering how long that would take, Murph, for you to mention his hairdo.
He's got the Vitas Gerulaitis look, I think.
He sure does.
You don't have to look for the number, Julie, do you?
No, you don't.
And you don't get a whole lot of reflection off that kind of a hairdo either.
No.
Free kick for Detroit. 3 players around the ball, McGill, Bradford, and Oates. The Quakes with a 5-man defensive wall. The free kick taken by McGill, and it's deflected. It's still in the penalty area, though. Hunter gets there. Hunter gets there in front of Angus Moffat, and Moffat called for a push from behind. Sam Oates has 10 goals this year, but keep this in mind. 4 of those have been penalty kicks, and 3 have been free kicks. George, you know that's not easy to get 3 goals in the same year on free kicks.
Not really. There's something going wrong with the defensive wall. It sounds like.
Oh, there's a push.
David trying to get open. It was tackled away, and then Hiddink teed it up and drilled it, but it's off to the left. Good defensive play by Eddie Colquhoun.
Just went with the advantage rule there, Julie.
Yeah, right. Well, David was pushed, but he maintained possession of the ball, so the referee wisely called the advantage rule and let him continue, which was the right thing to do.
George, I know one thing I meant to ask you earlier. With the 2 light standards out in the middle of the field because of the expansion of Spartan Stadium across the way, do those dark spots over there bother you at all?
Once in a while, yeah. I think you notice it more when the ball's in the air. You know, once in a while you lose sight of it. Just for that split second.
Pardon me, George, didn't mean to interrupt there. That was trouble for a moment, but I believe it might have been offsides called against Detroit. Give it to the Earthquakes.
I'll tell you, our technical guys have just done a heck of a job this year getting these pictures for you. I'll promise you that the picture on your screen is better than what we're watching here in person, enhancing the picture just a little bit because those light standards being out in the middle have decreased the lighting by something like 25% here.
Mike Hunter now overlapping, getting into the offensive attack. Hunter gets open, goes a nice one to Maseko. Maseko back to Hunter. Hunter cross, too far.
Oh, Andres overran that one.
He only forgot one thing.
Here's a replay on that. Andres was just a little too fast for the ball.
Looked like Judd Pavlovich was left semi-unmarked on the right side of the cage. The game is 7 minutes old. No score from Spartan Stadium. Detroit this year outscoring their opponents 14-12 in the first halves. San Jose being outscored 24-14. Now the Earthquakes trying to get some attack going. Pavlovich pushes a man, gets away with it, and now is called for a foul. Pavlovich pushing Steve Sargent from behind. Looked rather obvious. A replay here, George.
He gave him a pretty good go at that, didn't he?
It looked like he might have pushed him. On the other hand, he might have slipped and fell too, but it's hard to tell from here just exactly what happened.
Yeah, looked like 6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
Yeah, really. Pavlovich, former member of the Yugoslavian Olympic team. Back up into Detroit's offensive end.
It's a free kick.
Silvera called for a push.
Well, we've had our share of fouls so far.
Well, this referee, I'm sure that Milan Mandaric recalls the name of Robert Morgan. And
He's an old Yugoslav. You'd know that name anywhere.
Sam Oates, number 5, he'll take this free kick, I believe. The Quakes with a 4-man wall, sealing it off on the right side with Hunter. Also Bradford around the ball. Now Bradford runs up. Oates, a nice set play. Mihalovic was ready, though. Beautiful set play.
Boy, that was well done.
George, it takes a lot of precision, those set plays.
Yeah, that's got to be really spot on. You know, obviously, you know, that's something they've worked on. You can see it. And Ani Mihalovic did really well there.
Here comes Maseko. Maseko gets by one man, trying to cross it. And he does nicely, but it was blocked, and it'll be a corner kick. Sometimes you've got to make that cross, even if you don't know if it's going to get all the way through. You can get yourself a corner out of it. Maseko will just stay in the corner now, since George Best is not playing tonight. Maseko an in-swinger slightly. Churchman in the air. Pavlovich after it. Mihalovic one touch. Head ball away by Benny Dargle. Maseko runs it down. Silvera. This will be a Detroit ball here.
George, my old friend John Mahegan just came back from the old side a couple of days ago and brought me a little gift. Murphy's Laws, all imprinted on Irish linen.
Yeah.
And the whole theory behind that is that when things start looking good, you're obviously overlooking something.
Right.
Seems like Bill Folks has been operating under Murphy's Law for a while.
Here's Vasa Rutanski now. Rutanski gets a little space for himself. Cleared away by Dargle again. Both players kicking high, and they call it on Rutanski there. George, there are 11 players on the Detroit Express that come from the British Islands. They have a strong English influence. Their head coach, Ken Furphy, former coach of Sheffield United. So you'd probably feel right at home on their team.
Yeah, actually, you know, you can see it in the way they play. I actually, a year ago, went on tour with the Detroit team as a guest player. We went to Austria and Germany under Ken Furphy.
Here's Pavlovich. We'll get back to that, George. David. And Maseko hit it.
Well, they had something going then, you know. They just couldn't finish, but boy, they had something going.
Maseko did a great job of filling that lane on the far side.
Here's a replay, George.
It was Mihalovic, I believe, that started that play.
Well, no, it was Judd, wasn't it? Probably.
Well, he got the ball after Mihalovic broke it loose.
Yeah, good chance there.
We just got up in the air a little bit too much.
Maseko had 2 goals in the 3rd game this year against Edmonton in a 4-2 loss, and he hasn't scored a goal since then. Detroit ball here. Strong play in the box by Silvera, bumping the man out of the way. You've got to be rather careful when you're in the box and you're guarding a man. Marhatic, this will be a goal kick.
No, corner kick.
It was deflected, all right.
Did it quick.
George, we were talking the other night when you were playing about the Channel Islands and Jersey, and I can remember that Tony Jacklin moved to Jersey after winning the British Open and the U.S. Open a year or 2 apart from one another. Because there's a big tax advantage to living over there?
Yeah, there was.
Or there used to be?
Well, there still is, yeah. You know, at the time it was, I think it was 83% tax in the United Kingdom. And I think a Channel Islands or something, it's around about 25, 30%.
So you become kind of an exile.
Yeah, right.
There was a rough collision that time on the corner kick. Jim Holton of Detroit banged into Mike Hewitt. Mike seems to be all right.
Yeah, Big Jim's a rough player. He played with the same team as I did, Manchester United, for a few years.
Jim Holton, yeah, he is tough.
Boy, I'll tell you, Silvera's tough.
Holton was guarding Karl-Heinz Granitza earlier this year in a game. And, you know, Granitza's one of the league's best scorers. We'll talk about this. Here's Pavlovich. David,
Oh,
look
what
out.
a chance. Yay, great goal.
That was really well done. That's right out of the picture book of soccer, George.
Oh, perfect build-up. Great layoff.
Here it is.
Great pass by Pavlovic. Tremendous. Steve was there. Just had to slip it in. Tremendous move.
Steve David gets his 16th goal this year, his 97th career goal. That's his 14th goal as an Earthquake.
Brown came flying out of there too, Pat, trying to cut that angle down, but that was just too good.
So the Earthquakes break a streak. San Jose leads 1-0. That goal coming about 12 minutes into the game, and it breaks a scoreless string of 246 minutes for the Quakes. Just had a feeling it might be Steve that would break it.
You've always got a chance with Steve around. He doesn't miss many of those.
David hammers it home. It's 1-0 San Jose. Now this is trouble right here, but Hewitt comes out of the cage.
Fans were a little unfriendly tonight when some of the players were introduced, George. I don't think they picked anyone out in particular, but we heard some sounds that weren't too complimentary.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's just overall frustration, I think. You know, the season's been a little bit of a disaster, and you know, they pay their money, and I suppose they're entitled to voice their opinions. You know, the players go out there and they try and do their best, but when the results are going against you, you know, no one's really helping. Players least of all. But hopefully, you know, this will be the start of something.
It might be a good game to sit out then, Joe.
Yeah, right.
1-0 San Jose. There's a lot of pushing down in the midfield in this play. Let's watch it again. Number 2, San Jose, Mihalovic against Mark Hatik, number 20. And it results in a San Jose free kick. Here's Ratonski. Vasa still has it. Finally is pushed down by David McGill. Let's watch this one again. Right in front of us. Nice low camera angle. Look out. San Jose on the attack again. Maseko tried to get there. Gets the ball. Can he cross it from here? Maseko tripped up. A good defensive play, however, it was by Steve Sargent. San Jose will have a throw in here, I believe. Or is it a Detroit ball?
That's a Detroit throw in.
Express. The ball is thrown away, and Nicky Nikolic comes up with it.
Pavlovich with an assist on the goal, his 4th. Hiddink also credited with an assist, his 2nd.
Steve David now needs only 3 goals to become the 3rd man in North American Soccer League history to get 100 goals in a career. The score is 1-0. San Jose leads Detroit. San Jose in white, Detroit in orange. This will be a San Jose throw-in. Each team coming off of a 1-0 ball game. San Jose losing to Memphis. Detroit defeating Minnesota 1-0. Nikolic head ball away from Marhatic. Into the box. This is Sam Oates. Oates looking for a place to change directions to. Almost throws it away. However, Angus Moffat has it. Knocked away by Maseko. David comes up, but still Detroit with the ball. And this will be a San Jose throw-in. Talking about Jim Holton earlier, George. Jim Holton is number 16 for Detroit. He guarded Karl-Heinz Granitza earlier this year, and after the two clashed early in the penalty box, Granitza came out with a bloody head and had to finish the game at midfield.
Yeah. I've seen a few players finish up like that going against Jim.
Good guy to have on your side.
Oh,
right?
tremendous, yeah. I used to have a couple of rude songs about him when I played at Manchester United.
Detroit trying to go for the long balls in the early going, and it hasn't paid off so far. Hewitt now comes out to Churchman, one times it to Mihalovic. Good passing by the Earthquakes. Back to Hewitt. San Jose trying to win for the 6th time this year at home and their 8th time overall. You know what's kind of strange, George? Although the Quakes have lost their last 4 games, they've outshot their opponents in each contest. They've had more shots on goal than have the team they've been playing against, and yet they've lost them still.
Yeah, it's been amazing. You know, it's I've always said this game's a matter of inches. You know, where 1 week they'll go in. You know, you get in a sort of a rut, and I think losing like winning becomes a habit. And we've had a lot of bad luck. You know, it's not making too many excuses. Certain games we deserve to lose, but you find at times that when they're not going in, everything's going against you. But tonight, you know, I got off to a tremendous start here. I had a feeling before the game. I told someone I thought we'd win 4-0 tonight. So.
4-zip. All right.
So we're on the way.
That's a good feeling in the judge.
Yeah.
It's a better feeling when it happens.
Yeah, right.
Ball intended for David. Getting there was Dargle, though. George, that had to be a frustrating game the other night against the Memphis Rogues. The Quakes had several opportunities to score in that second half, but nothing materialized.
Yeah, and you know, some of the chances were really clear cut. You know.
Hewitt gets there ahead of Marhaton. The Quakes on the attack again. David being pushed by Dargle. Nothing called. They let that one go. It looked like David was being held, perhaps. Witanski, that's a push. Gotta be. Witanski, seeing his first action in 3 games. He sat out both the Minnesota and Memphis games because he got a red card, and also he had yellow card penalty points pile up on him.
Detroit looks like the UOP soccer team, Julie.
Yeah, they have the same colors as UOP. Black and gold.
Is an orange in there somewhere?
I think orange. Julie.
Orange.
Okay, let's take a look at the stats so far in the first 15 minutes. Pretty even. Of course, San Jose on the scoreboard, 1-0. Silvera battling at midfield with Bradford. Finally, Mihalovic gets it. And Witanski picking his way through like a snake. Witanski on the attack. He's got to get rid of it, though. He's getting hemmed in.
Got 2 guys on him now, and they fouled him.
A great run by Vasa Witanski that time, though, George. That's refreshing to see a center back do that, or a sweeper even.
Here's the end of that foul right here.
I think they got him so isolated, George, that he had no place to kick the ball off.
That looked like the only way they were going to stop him the way he was going. A great run.
Mihalovic into the box. It's flicked on by Hiddink. What a creative play that was by Gus.
Corner kick.
That's one of those instinctive plays, George, which you come up with all the time. You can't really plan something like that.
Yeah, I think we saw it, you know, in the Memphis game. Charlie Cook did it. You know, he put the ball down, took a, you know, first-time free kick, and before anybody knew what was happening, we were 1-0 behind. I think you've got to be alive in, you know, 90 minutes.
Charlie Cook is a pretty clever soccer player, George.
I tell you what, you look like an 18-year-old. Charlie's around about, what, 37 now, I think. And he had a tremendous game the other night.
It was a warm evening, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Maseko playing so very well so far in the early going. San Jose leads 1-0. Steve David getting the Earthquakes on the scoreboard with 33 minutes left in the first half. Now there are 24 minutes left.
I think this referee's going for the world record with fouls here.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It'll be interesting to see how many fouls have been committed.
The reason I said that Milan Mandrick would remember Robert Morgan is because on August 5th, 1978, there was a game here at Spartan Stadium between San Jose and Oakland. At that time, Milan Mandrick owned the Oakland Stompers. Morgan ejected 3 players in that game and cautioned Milan Mandrick. A yellow card for the owner. Doesn't happen every day.
Oh, Milan can catch your attention pretty good.
Yeah, he has been known to lose his temper
He
once in a
knows
while.
how to do that.
He's a very compassionate man. He sure cares a lot about this team and this franchise.
Well, he's an exciting guy, and he's fun to be around. He's got great enthusiasm, and he did it once here, and who's going to say that he won't do it again?
Well, so far, gentlemen, we've had 15 fouls. Detroit has committed 7 and San Jose 8. So they're pretty even on fouls, but we've had a total of 15 fouls.
You know, that just might work in the Quakes' favor if there are a lot of fouls tonight. Sometimes in a game where it's just inundated with fouls, it seems like the action never really gets going. And if you have a 1-goal lead, it's definitely going to work to your advantage.
Yeah, it stops either team getting any sort of rhythm going.
Yeah.
And as I say, we're 1-0 in the lead, so it should be to our advantage.
They go into the box again, but it's cleared out. That was almost trouble because Churchman almost cleared it right to the foot of Marhatic. You don't want to do that. Pavlovich almost manhandled from behind. They don't call anything. Head ball away by Nicholas with authority. And now a collision at midfield. There's a foul on Pavlovich. Pavlovich derisively waves his hand at the referee. He didn't agree, obviously. This is trouble. Silvera clearance. I like that pass by Oates a moment ago. Tried to just dump it back into the middle of the penalty area and hope one of his teammates could finish. Bradford, nice little flick into the box. Ratonski kicks it out. David. Nardiello. Here's Oates. Give and go. I think that was supposed to go back to Nardiello.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to play a give and go. Just went a little awry there.
Pat, I got a little news bulletin for you. I played in a little golf tournament over at Boulder Creek yesterday. Played with our old pal Larry Rice, the commissioner of the Central Coast section. Larry won the driving contest. I think that was on the 14th or 15th hole. I hit my career best. He had it about 30 yards by me.
Is that right?
On the 18th, a nice little 3-par. That's where they had the hole-in-one competition, and that is exactly what Larry Rice did.
Hole-in-one?
Hit a little 8-iron, 1 bounce right into
That's
the
a penalty.
Oh, boy.
Oh, what a bad call that was.
Oh, boy.
David and Pavlovich very upset. They felt that a foul in the box should have been called. Morgan says, play on.
Oh, that looked like a definite penalty from here.
Let's watch it again, George.
The hand goes up here. What's the hand go up?
Oh.
Look, his hand. Oh,
Yeah,
definite penalty.
Tested with his hand.
Yeah.
The Detroit Express might have gotten away with something right there.
That's what I was saying earlier. When things go against you, they're the sort of decisions, you know, that you need.
That could have really made it difficult for Detroit to come back because you figure that's a penalty kick, and penalty kicks are successful about 75–85% of the time.
98.
Sorry,
98.
Julie.
No, what did you say, George? 98 to 99%?
Yeah, unless I'm taking him.
Larry Rice was a real sport after that hole-in-one, Pat. He went right into the bar and laid down a $5 bill and said, buy the house a drink.
Now Detroit has the ball. Bradford boots it upfield. A nice little pass by Oates, but it goes right to Hunter.
Oh, we've had some fouls.
This is getting ridiculous.
How do the players feel in a game like this, George, where there are lots of fouls called?
It's so frustrating, you know, because a couple of instances here, he could have played the advantage role, and it just seems that he's calling everything.
You start to feel inhibited.
Yeah, you know, you can't really get anything going either side.
Gentle pass back to Jim Brown. Nice play by Steve Sargent that time. Jim Brown played for Chesterfield in England. Former team of Gordon Banks, one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. This is trouble
watch
right
this.
here. Real
Oh,
close. Bradford misses.
What a chance he had.
Nicholas was the only defender back there, and he did a good job.
He had an open goal there.
He had Marhetic on the other side. I wonder if he ever thought about giving it off to him. Right there, see him wide open.
Yeah, they had 2 on 1 there. They should have scored.
So the Quakes escape a bullet. 18:44 left, first half. San Jose 1 and Detroit nothing. David head ball on. Pavlovich comes up, but it's cleared away before Pavlovich gets there by Jim Hagan. Now Detroit's Oates pushes it on. Nikolic, a tough play. Mihalovic. Marhatic. Pato Marhatic. Now to Don Nardiello. Nardiello into the box. He wants to cross it. Being hounded there by Mihalovic. It comes back out. Good job by Ani. Angus Moffat.
That's a good ball.
Good push.
Oops.
But offside was Steve Sargent that time. Are you guys ready for the soccer quiz?
Why not?
I was going to start just giving you some answers, even if you weren't going to ask questions.
All right, first of all, just following up on something. Don Nardiello of Detroit. Tonight he is wearing number 15 in the orange shirts. He scored a goal against Dallas after only 25 seconds had been played at the start of the game. And I just want to refresh your memories. Murph, do you remember what the all-time record is at the start of the game for scoring a goal?
We had that question once before, Pat, and I will never forget the guy's name. I can't pronounce it, but his first name is Willie, and it's not Mays. And it's Willie Mafum.
That's right.
M-F-U-M. And he did it in something like 21 seconds.
You got it, Murph. He played for New York. Willie Mafum scored a goal after only 21 seconds. All right, Detroit now with the corner. Men are breaking in the penalty area. Cleared out, though, and now it's really blasted by Churchman. Up the middle. David after it. Can't get there. Nice play by Bradford.
Oh, that's a good one.
But Hewitt will get there. In front of Oates. Hewitt will just bang this one away. Kind of a short kick. Gus Hiddink gets it under control immediately. That's a strong part of Gus's game, I think, George. His ability to control the ball as soon as it gets there on him.
Yeah, he's got tremendous skill. He's very strong. You know, he can hold players off coming in to tackle them.
Silvera pushed over in the penalty box. Joe a little bit shaken up. Chris
Silvera does not shy away from heavy traffic, Julie. He'd be a great commuter on the Bay Shore Freeway.
Ooh, Silvera?
At 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and he's not really built for it either.
Oh, but he is.
Watch the push
tenacious.
there. Here's a replay on that. I think he got pushed and kicked at the same time.
Just to make sure.
Silvera, only 5'10", 155 pounds.
Great pass.
George, it seems like when you are not playing, Steve David comes up farther upfield to get the ball and start his attack. Do you find that to be the case?
Sometimes that happens, yeah. You know, if he's not, he tends to, if he's not getting a lot of the ball, he'll come play a little bit deeper and come looking for it.
Silvera kicked it too hard. Detroit gets it now. Hagan pushes it forward. Don Nardiello. By the way, that wasn't our only quiz question. We'll get back to that in a minute. This is David McGill. Pretty good looking cross, but Churchman got a noggin on it. Now they redirect the attack to the right side. Sargent into the box. Pretty good ball. And it hit the head of Silvera. This will be a corner kick for the Detroit Express.
Detroit does a good job of spreading out the attack, don't they, George? The way they knock that ball around.
Yeah, they play it. You know, you've got to have width in this game, and they play it very well to the wide positions.
Detroit with 3 men in the box. They all start chasing the ball, and it goes right through the legs of Oates. That's the second golden opportunity for Detroit in the first half. Earlier, you'll remember that Bradford hit a skyrocket on a virtually wide open shot.
That went through everybody.
In fairness to Oates, the ball skidded off of one of his teammates' heads, and it might have been too quick for him. Just under 14 minutes to play in the first half. Marhatic. He's being well marked by Nikolic tonight so far.
Another good play there by Nicky. Tackle.
Dardiello, Adam Moffat. Nice movement of the ball, but it ends up being cleared away by Nikolic.
Look where David is.
Pavlovich, nice to Maseko. And it's broken up quickly. Back it goes to Jim Brown. Jim, in only his second year, has 15 shutouts in the North American Soccer League.
Well, he ain't getting one tonight, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Brown has also played under their head coach, Ken Furphy, on Sheffield United. Ken Furphy, by the way, his son Keith, an outstanding player, and he was traded from Detroit to Atlanta in mid-season this year. That might be kind of hard to play for your dad, though.
I would think so. You know, I think that was probably one of the main reasons why he moved to Atlanta.
It's kind of like the Hans Kraai situation in Edmonton a year ago.
Yeah.
I like that name, United, on a team. It's nice when a team is united, isn't it, George?
Sure is, yeah.
There wasn't a Manchester apart team, was there?
No.
Maseko wants to cross it if he can. He's fast. Maseko tripped up, but he lost the ball. And now back to Brown.
You know, it's amazing, George, you've had that feeling on teams, talking about that united feeling. Winning is so often a state of mind.
Oh, it is.
And those great teams you've played with, when you take the field, you just don't believe you can lose.
That's it. You know, you get it in your mind, you go out there, and you know, it's the furthest thing from your mind that you're going to lose the game.
And that, when you have that kind of feeling, that kind of thinking, there's always somebody who'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Here's Nardiello, one-on-one with Mihalovic. Nice play by Ani. Gets that ball out of there. McGill, Adam Moffat. Nice high ball. Offsides, though, is Sargent. Sargent. I think Sargent disagrees.
He was upset because the linesman didn't call it.
Well, Ani Mihalovic was at least 15 yards playing him onside there.
Yeah.
I can understand him being upset.
Oh, I think the referee's going over to talk to the linesman now. No, that was a bad call.
I think it's a good time for the soccer quiz. All right, man. Who is the only player in soccer history to score 2 hat tricks in the final rounds of the World Cup? Take your time on this one. 2 hat tricks. Of course, a hat trick is
George
3 goals.
Best.
No.
I answer, George, to any question that has that's good guys doing big things. I answer George first. George knows who that is.
There's another good ball.
Let's watch this attack. We'll get into that question later on. Maseko, nice play by Andres. But a foul is called.
The linesman called obstruction. And
He sure did.
the referee was a little late in calling it. It'll be an indirect free kick for Detroit.
And Steve Sargent will take this kick. Sargent signed with the team of Everton in England at the age of 15. Look out. There it is. The goal by Detroit. I think it was number 16, Jim Holton.
Jim Holton.
And it was. It's tied 1-1.
That looked like a rehearsed play, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a great little crossing kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, he kept it right on the ground.
Holden just picked it up, directed it into the goal. 1-1. We've got a soccer match.
Well, we talked about that set play earlier. They must practice that an awful lot. That was very finely executed. And so that erases the deficit, which has plagued Detroit since the early moments of the game. David runs into a Detroit player. He ran into Jim Hagan that time. So it's all tied up 1-1. Jim Holton getting the goal. And for the Detroit Express Jim Holton has just scored his second goal of the season. Of course, he's a defensive player, not expected to score a lot. Now the outswinger corner kick, and Pavlovich belts it away. Clock, of course, running. 8.5 minutes left in the first half. Detroit has definitely had more ball possession time than the Earthquakes have. Look out.
Oh,
we've got him pushing now.
Fight there now.
Marhatic and Nikolic.
I think Marhatic just got embarrassed, George. The ball was taken cleanly from him, and then he started grabbing, and then that led to punching. I think it just embarrassed him that the ball was taken away.
Yeah, it was good play by Nicky there, and
I think that he's going to issue a yellow card here. Maybe not. No, he just talked to him.
So he got a warning. It is very strange how the officials in this league give yellow cards and give warnings.
I can think of one player who might have got a yellow card in there.
Yeah, I can too. That's why he's sitting here.
Yeah. He was offside there.
That's true. Well, the crowd doesn't like it, and you know, you got to understand their point. George Best sitting up with here tonight. The only reason because George got a little upset at a call, didn't even lay a finger on an opponent, and yet he gets to sit out 2 games. Here, a near fight almost breaks out, and nobody gets a yellow card. Mahalovic across. One time. Maseko.
Hey, Andres on a full volley shot.
Great effort by him.
Great shot.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that just missed the upper right corner of the net.
He did a great job of volleying that ball.
Just missed it.
That would have been an outstanding goal.
Yes, I think that might have been the goal of the year.
Oh, believe me.
That's tough to do, George. That kind of a shot.
You mean the timing's got to be perfection almost.
Okay, the only player in soccer history to score 2 hat tricks in the final rounds of the World Cup. George Best, you have 5 seconds to give me an answer.
Yeah, well, I know this because I played with him for a short time in Fort Lauderdale. That was Gerd Muller.
That's right.
Tremendous goal-scoring machine. They say he's a lucky player. He's scored something like 800 goals. And they've all been lucky.
The man with 3 trunk legs.
Yeah.
If you're going to be lucky, it helps if you're good, too.
Yeah, right.
Maseko flying up the left side.
Good guy.
David mopping up. Steve David now. David faking a pass, the crowd getting a kick out of it. No pun intended, of course. But hitting across the box. Mahalovic overlapping. Ani will try to cross it back now. Quakes with good movement here. It's a good pass, but nothing but defenders there.
David was knocked down. He was on his hands and knees when that ball was kicked across.
Hagen having trouble with it. Bumped by Nikolic. And Nicky is called for a foul. And now Nikolic is going to get a warning, I believe, from Robert Morgan. It is only a warning. Well, at least Morgan is not yellow card happy. And I guess that's encouraging. Hagen now bombs one away. That was Silvera that got ahead on it. Churchman now boots it upfield. And Ratonski of San Jose. Vasa goes to Andres Maseko. Nice play by the Quakes. Maseko tried to give it off to David, but it went too far, and now here comes Detroit on the counter.
Oh,
Sam
boy,
Oates.
he was just onside, too.
Oates, blocked by Hewitt, a great play.
Great save by Mike.
Joe Silvera comes back for the Quakes. Sam Oates tried that shot, but Hewitt smothered it. Let's watch it again.
Mike came out at just the right time here, Joey.
He came out and he closed the angle, shut it down. That was a good move by Mike.
The score is still 1-1. A wild sequence a moment ago. 4 minutes, 52 seconds left. First half of play.
I tell you, things have heated up a bit, haven't they?
Really? Score has been tied up in the last few minutes. We had a near fight. A couple of warnings. And then that near counterattack goal by Detroit just a moment ago. And Churchman softly kicks it back to Hewitt. And San Jose with the ball again. I think the cool weather has just given the Earthquakes and, of course, Detroit, too, a little more energy, George. The last two games, there were times when the play was not real, what's the word, action-packed, maybe? It's been rather slower. Tonight, it's very quick.
Yeah, I think it's been end-to-end stuff, you know, from the start. Both teams really need to win. You know, you can see both teams going for it.
But Detroit plays their home games on AstroTurf, don't they, George? Don't they play on artificial turf?
That's right, yeah.
So they're probably real happy to be on this grass.
Yeah. Well, that was one of our few road trip wins.
You play in Pontiac, don't you, George?
Yeah, that's right.
Here's Pavlovich now. Can he cross one into the box? David is there. Also, Ratonski in the box. Maseko. It'll be a corner, I think.
Yeah, corner kick.
Maseko playing very well in the first half.
The one nice thing about the AstroTurf in Detroit, it is inside. They don't have to play on that terrible reflection of heat and light that you get on the outdoor artificial surfaces. Like how would Tulsa be, for example?
Oh, thanks. Silvera, nice layoff to Maseko, but too far. They misread each other a little bit. It's a goal kick for the Detroit Express. You know, Detroit, they've been playing some close games this year. Earlier this season, San Jose defeated Detroit in a shootout, and that's nothing new to the Express. They've been in 7 shootouts this year, and they've lost 5 of them. Detroit has beaten San Jose 3 of the 4 times the two teams have played in the franchise's histories. Silvera shanked it off to the right, but Mihailovic should get there, and he does just barely save it. Ani overruns it. Mihailovic to Ratonski. I'll say one thing, Julie. The Quakes defensive players have been getting up into attack.
Oh, yeah, they're coming up and getting involved.
This is a spirited game here tonight. David is pushed, knocked over, and tackled all in the same second. Let's watch it again here.
They really take him down.
Looked like about 3-1 there.
Meantime, in live action, the Quakes have a corner kick.
One of the Detroit players looked like a linebacker.
Really?
Well, this would be a nice time to get one.
Coming up was Churchman, and it hits off the top of the cage. It's still loose. Finally cleared away by Holton. So Jim Holton, the man who scored the Express goal, saves one here. Mike Hunter. Hunter pushes it forward. Intercepted by Dargle. However, a foul called. Now Ratonski and Dargle pushing each other.
Well, he won't shake hands.
Ratonski.
Ratonski's trying to be friendly.
Yeah, I want to be friends. He says, no, I don't want to be.
He looks like a big St. Bernard dog out there.
We've got 44 seconds left in the first half. It's all tied up 1-1. Steve David scoring the goal for San Jose, and Jim Holton for Detroit. Jim Brown, the goalkeeper, bangs it away. That's a smart play in that spot with only seconds remaining in the first half. You never know what could happen. Marhatic is tripped up. It was a hesitating call. The referee kind of flinched as he reached for his flag and then said, well, yeah, I guess it was a foul.
There's about 11 seconds left, and the referee stopped the clock.
Now the Quakes, 2 players are not 10 yards off the ball. Morgan comes up.
Ball was kicked into the seats, Julie. I think that's the reason why, but it sure has set up a last-ditch effort here, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Well, Detroit is tough on those free kicks. Oates now into the box. Only seconds remaining. And at the end of the first half, as time runs out, Angus Moffat hits a sky ball over the goal. And so the half has expired. It's halftime. The scoreboard shows the Detroit Express won, the San Jose Earthquakes won. We'll take a break. We've got our halftime show coming right up in just a moment.
Right now at downtown Dutton, we're giving away instant cash refunds.
On Tuesday night, August 5th, 1980, at 8 o'clock at Spartan Stadium, the Santa Clara County High School All-Star Football Game. Some great young players. Don't miss any of the action. Starts at 8 o'clock, and just some super young talent. So could be the last time you'll see a lot of those players in this area, so don't miss out. If you'd like ticket information, call 287-6363. Should be a good game, and speaking of good games, man, I think this was an excellent first half we just saw here. Julie?
Well, I think it was, Pat. Had quite a few fouls, but toward the end of the first half where things began to really pick up, and it was a much better game.
I think we have some highlights of the goals scored in the first half. First of all, for San Jose, Pavlovich to David. George, analyze this.
Yeah, Pavlovich, he's drawn the defender to him and then just pushed the ball to Steve and left Steve with a pretty simple chance. Goalkeeper came out, tried to narrow the angle, but Steve put it away there.
David's cool, not really under pressure, but in a situation like that, he pretty much takes his time until the last possible second and then hammers it.
Yeah, I think you can see it, it becomes a habit, goal scoring. Great goal scorers, they sense that. They get within in that area, and it becomes second nature to them.
Let's watch that play again then, George, from the top. Here we go. This is the goal for the San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, you see the defender leave Steve here and come across to try and cut it out and leave Steve on his own. Just side foots it here. Perfectly placed.
Hiddink and Mahalovic, or rather Hiddink and Pavlovich getting assists on that goal scored by Steve David. For Steve, that was his 16th goal of the year and his 97th in his North American Soccer League career. The Detroit goal was scored by Jim Holton and give the assist to Steve Sargent, and that tied it up 1-1. It was not scored directly from a free kick, but it was a set play just the same, man. And the Quakes have got to be conscious of that now in the second half.
Well, it was a good play because I think the Earthquake defenders were expecting the ball to be chipped up in the air, and the ball was hit hard right on the ground, and it was obviously a set play that they had rehearsed because the player came right through and hit it first time. It was an excellent play.
Well, Bill Folks, the great defensive player for Manchester United when he played, now the coach of the Earthquakes. How can you, what is he saying right now at halftime concerning those free kicks taken by Detroit, George? What do you think?
I would think, he's got to tell the players to be on their toes. There was a perfect example there of a little bit of lack of concentration on the defender's part. And, you just can't leave anyone free in the penalty area. And Jim Holton was left on his own with no one within, 4 or 5 yards. And that's a no-no in the penalty area.
Holton did have a relatively easy score. This is a martial arts demonstration right here. Looks like that commercial for High Karate, Cologne, huh? All right, let's watch that for a second. On second thought, let's take a break. We'll be right back at Spartan Stadium right after this.
Hi.
Soccer World. This Earthquakes telecast is being brought to you in part by the Complete Soccer Store. Soccer World in Campbell on San Tomas Aquino Road at Campbell Avenue. Talk to Bob Rodriguez at phone number 378-8631, and he'll tell you all about the one-week sessions going through August the 29th for girls and boys ages 8 to 14. Only $35 a session. Again, talk to Bob Rodriguez, phone number 378-8631 if you'd like to know more. Right now, I think Bob Murphy is waiting down with the general manager of the San Jose Earthquakes, and it's John Carbray and Murph, and I think they're ready. Murph, take it away.
Thank you, Pat. Down on the field with John Carbray, and John with George upstairs and Julie and Pat. We haven't written off this year, but I think everybody's starting to think a little bit about next year, and the natives in the stands. There aren't as many natives in the stands tonight as there have been in past games. They were a little restless. There were some kind of ugly sounds when some of the players were introduced. I think the fans are looking for some encouragement now.
Well, I think this all goes with professional sports. You know, we all want to win. I think we can rationally look at our season and say we could easily today be shooting for our 11th or 12th win with just a lucky bounce of the ball. But when it's not going your way, the ball doesn't bounce for you. Just like that shot on Maseiko's. When you're winning, that shot goes in, and when you're losing, it's off the bar. But I think, encouragingly, I think that we can honestly say that we have now got to the point that we have a probably solid 4 or 5 players that we know are going to be back next year. And if we can add 3 or 4 solid players to that group, plus with the players that are coming on in their own, their younger players, I think the future looks quite bright. It would be a liar to say that I'm not disappointed. We're all disappointed, but we're encouraged at the same time. Your colleague up there, Mr. Best, has made quite a contribution this year.
There was some talk, John, about a long-term commitment involving the Quakes and George. We didn't ask him about that tonight.
Well, we're having some discussions, and they're very good, positive discussions. And matter of fact, George is buying my lunch tomorrow, and we're going to talk some more. And I feel very encouraged that we're going to be able to work out a situation where George Best will not only play the remaining years of his soccer in San Jose, but will become a lifelong resident of San Jose, because I think he has a lot to contribute to San Jose other than just being able to kick a soccer ball.
You know, I think that's such a good thought, and the Earthquake franchise runs so deep. The tradition is so thick, and it goes so far back, and Milan, of course, was a part of that. I don't think he's going to stand for anything but success.
No, we have no thoughts of failure. We really felt we would do better this year than we did, but we haven't. But we're already talking about next year. We're not giving up on this year. I mean, mathematically, things can still happen, but this is a situation now where we can play a game at a time. We can look at some players maybe that haven't had a chance to play too much. We can also be thinking about what's going to happen next year. And I think the most encouraging thing is players that are going to be kept here are going to be on 12-month contracts. They're going to be playing indoor soccer. They're going to be playing a lot of games during the year. And I've always felt that in any sport, the better you knew each other off the floor or off the field, and the more camaraderie that you built into your organization, front office, ownership, media, players, that's how you build a winning organization. And I think San Jose had that. I know they had it 4 years ago, and we've taken the first steps towards getting back to that. And I think our fans have been very patient, and we can't be too upset about some of the catcalls we're getting.
And there was continuity, John. I mean, when you go all the way back to Paul Child, and you so warmly greeted here the other night, Middick and the Demling brothers and so many others, they were here for a long time. They had a chance to develop that camaraderie and that team feeling.
Well, and I think the main thing was they were here year-round. They weren't here for 4 or 5 months and then gone out of sight. And we have players on our team right now, Steve Ryan, Andres Maseiko, Stephen David, George, that are making a lot of appearances in the city. They're getting out to meet a lot of kids, meeting a lot of people, and it takes time for that kind of thing to really bear fruit.
I think it's just incredible that the house is down a little bit tonight. Tonight's crowd would be 13,000, something like that. We'll have it announced later, but that is a tribute to this organization, I think, and with a couple of wins, you know that they're going to be hanging from the trees.
Well, it's very interesting. A gentleman named Mark Marcos is here tonight. He's an international soccer scout, and I said to him, I said, I'm sorry you didn't see a big crowd tonight, because I said this is probably one of the smaller Saturday night crowds in the history of this franchise. He says, I'm totally amazed. He said, this is a great crowd, and in most cities in this league, this is a great crowd. I think we have to also remember, when you play 3 home games in 8 days in any city in this league, I don't care if it's Washington, New York, or wherever, it does have a bearing. When you're losing, that makes it even that much tougher.
Well, and you're past the 1st of August now, just barely, and lots of people in this part of the country take their vacation the first couple of weeks or the last couple of weeks of August, so I think that has an effect, too.
Nothing wrong that a couple of wins wouldn't help.
That's right. Okay, we got to run, John. Thank you very much. Always good to visit with you and look at the positive side of the Earthquakes, looking ahead with the Earthquakes. And with that, Pat, we send it back to you.
Thanks, Bob. Late in the first half, San Jose almost scored a goal. Andres Maseiko, a volley kick on a full volley. Here it is again, George and Juliet, tough kick.
Called kicks in soccer, to turn on the ball and full volley it and keep it down. You tend to get it up in the air when you take a shot like that, and he just barely missed it. That was a great shot, wasn't it, George?
Tremendous effort. You saw him when he hit it both feet off the ground. I really got behind it. Tremendous effort.
George, you mentioned the timing, which is so important on that shot.
Oh, those are the sort of shots you can take a ball out every day and practice that 100 times and get it wrong 99 times. But that one time when it works, it's a sweet feeling. Yeah.
The Earthquakes, George, only at home 2 more times this year. The Portland Timbers here on the 16th and the Los Angeles Aztecs on the 23rd of August. Don't miss out. Both times, both games, 8 o'clock starts. The score is 1-1 at halftime. Detroit playing San Jose. We'll take a look at halftime statistics right after this short timeout. And now to take a look at the halftime statistics, the coach of the United States Olympic team in 1976, the great head coach at San Jose State, Julie Menendez.
Well, the stats are very close, and of course the game is tied. It turned out to be a very interesting first half. It started out slow because of the many fouls that were being called. I think the official actually slowed down the game, but then it really picked up and it became an interesting first half. The second half should be very interesting because both sides really want this win. In fact, we've had some flare-ups during the match because I think the players are trying so hard to win.
Well, it's a must-win for Detroit because right now they have the second wild card spot in the American Conference, but San Diego only 3 points in the standings behind Detroit at the moment. San Jose, on the other hand, they need as many wins here in as big a hurry as is possible if they even hope to get back into a chance to get a playoff spot. So it is a big one. Here we go, second half. The Earthquakes now in the white shirts going from right to left across your picture. The Detroit Express, the opponents there in orange. Here's Nikolic. Nikolic, a nice through ball.
Oh, there's a goal. How about that? He made it look easy, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Detroit were looking for an offside call there.
Yeah, I think they were.
It didn't come.
Nicky Nikolic did his George Best impersonation here.
What's this? They drove right down the middle.
What a nice pass by Nikolic. And then Pavlovich finished it off beautifully. It's 2-1 San Jose. And Julie, I'll say one thing. Early in the show, you mentioned that Bill Foltz wanted all of his defenders to go up into the attack, and we have seen that tonight. Marhatic now for Detroit. So that goal came about 1 minute into the second half. That's a quickie. The Quakes aren't satisfied yet. Here comes Ratonski for more. Ratonski to David.
David, no! It's blocked nicely by Brown. How about this, though?
The Quakes starting to really put pressure on.
They're attacking with reckless abandon, aren't they?
Really, Julie? What a pass that was.
Goalkeeper did really well there. Came out narrowly the angle. Tremendous save from him.
San Jose leading 2-1. Here comes the corner kick. Hits off the top of the goal netting. And it'll be a goal kick now for the Detroit Express. Pavlovich getting the goal a moment ago. And for Judd, I believe that's his third goal of the year. I'll double check that. Pavlovich now with a total of 3 goals in 1980. The assist to Nicky Nikolic. And that is the first assist for Nicky. I beg your pardon, that's Ratonski's assist. Ratonski gets his 3rd assist this year. And Jim Brown, the goalkeeper, stumbles a little bit. San Jose playing inspired offensive soccer here in the second half.
Well, the goalkeeper's had a busy start here.
Really? Interesting because he didn't even have 1 save in that first half. Judd Pavlovich getting the goal a moment ago. Judd scored, I think, maybe one of the most memorable goals this year in that game against Dallas after the Quakes were putting pressure on for about 2 minutes in the penalty area. Of course, George, you were playing at that time, and I think your cross actually initiated that entire sequence. But what a goal that was. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, tremendous goal, yeah. He's, I would say, of all the guys on the team, Judd's probably got the hardest shot of any player in the team.
There's a goal.
David hammers one on the ground. David was a little bit off balance, it looked like, when he teed it up and swung away. But still, he got a lot of mustard on it, George.
Well, this is just a tremendous start by the Quakes here. Unbelievable. You know, they've come out. I don't know what Bill Folks has said to them at halftime, but it's working.
I know you'd like to be down there right now.
Right, yeah.
They've come alive, haven't they?
Yeah.
Let's see if Detroit now can equalize things. They trail 2-1. Oates and Maseko and also Hunter in the area. Hunter kicks it back to Hewitt. The Earthquakes trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. If they keep playing like this, they almost certainly will tonight. Break the streak, that is. Ratonski. Vasa Ratonski. Good ball to Hiddink. Right back to Vasa, hustling all the way. He crosses it. No, he
Still got it in. Still in.
A corner kick. Ratonski looking like Franz Beckenbauer right now.
Voss is having a tremendous game. You know, he started off well, and he's getting better the longer the game goes on.
And now Gus Hiddink will execute the corner kick for San Jose. It's a left-footer in-swinger. David is really drilled in the box by Jim Hagan. Nothing called, though. Goal kick for the Detroit Express. In the second halves this year, Detroit has outscored their opponents 22-19. And San Jose, now with the goal by Pavlovich, they've been outscored 26-21 in the combined second halves of play this year. So Detroit has been a second half ball club. Keep that in mind. Over the sideline. Watch the replay of this head ball here. That's an art in itself, isn't it, George?
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, a lot of people say to me, it must hurt, but you know, if the timing's right, you know, you can head them all day and not feel anything. But as you say, the timing's so important. It really is an art.
That was Churchman a moment ago. We watched on the slow motion. 38 minutes to play in the game. 2-1, San Jose on top. Well, something we haven't talked about tonight is the fact that this week in the paper we read that possibly Bill Folk's job is in jeopardy now, George. I know it's a heavy topic, but I think we should discuss it. Here's the shot taken by Mihalovic, and it's too high. I'll say one thing, it's been a tough job for any man this year to do the job that Bill Folks has done. He's had to play with 32 different players. Folks became the head coach about 1 week before the actual season started, and the numerous close losses, it's just been a tough season.
Yeah, you know, I think it's the same in most sports. You know, you gotta have a losing season, and of course everyone starts talking about, you know, you're in trouble and your job is in jeopardy. But you know, Bill just keeps going along. He has his own thoughts and theories on what's right and what's wrong. You know, he's doing the best he can, and you know, he's not out on the field. He can't do it on the field. He can try and relate to the players, but at the end of the day, they're the ones who you know, lose and win the games for him.
Ratonski going to Hunter, but Nardiello made a nice play to step in and intercept the ball. Well, Bill Folks, a great former center back, defensive player for Manchester United. You and he were teammates, and I bet he wishes he was in a few games this year because of the play at certain times. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you get like that. You know, you see the team going out and winning losing game after game, and you know, sometimes think, you know, if you were out there you could do better. But you know, as I say, his job is to try and get the players to do it on the field, and he'll just keep going along.
Well, he's been very cooperative to us, and whatever happens, we'd like to wish him the best of luck. The Quakes could sure use about a 5-game winning streak here at the end of the season just to make things interesting, and they just might get in the playoffs. And then, of course, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. In the box, Churchman, gentle pass back to Hewitt. San Jose leading 2-1, so look for Detroit to keep pushing up forward, keeping the pressure on San Jose, and then San Jose might be able to counterattack.
Pat, I'll tell you what's nice about the game tonight. You know, the players, even though you know, they're going through a bad time. The team, they're playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. You know, you can see it. Everyone seems to be enjoying it, which is, you know, very unusual for a team that's on a losing streak like this. People like Ratonski's just having a ball out there. Tremendous.
He had plenty of time to rest up, though, George.
Yeah, right, yeah. Maybe I'll play well the next time I play.
I agree with you, though. I think this is the best performance since the Quakes played against the California Surf right here on June 29th.
Well, one thing, they have a 1-goal lead, and they haven't given up on their pressure and on attack. You know, they've kept up a steady pressure on attack, which is good.
There's lots of different theories on that, I guess, George and Julie. When you get the lead, you don't want to leave yourself vulnerable on defense, but at the same time, if you can build that up to a 2-goal lead, you're really in a good spot.
That's it. You know, you got to decide. It's I think you got to, you know, it's a good mixture. You got to keep it tight at the back, and hopefully, you know, obviously you got to keep going for goals.
That's the voice of George Best you hear in the background. San Jose on the attack. Mike Hunter. Hunter loses it eventually down in the corner. Our vision was obscured, and it's going to be a Detroit ball. This is Pat Hughes along with Julie Menendez and George Best on the Sports Channel. Bob Murphy will be joining us here in a few moments. Murph doesn't get up the stairs quite as fast as he used to. 35 minutes left in the game. Ratonski now. Steve David, he might hammer one. Yes, no. He did hammer it, but just off to the left. That was a good 30-yard shot at least. Let's watch this again. Maybe about a 27-yard shot. But George, even if you're that far out sometimes, if you know you're in rhythm and you can really blast one, why not go ahead and try, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, they maybe catch the goalkeeper unawares. And, you know, I think you could see there from the moment Steve picked the ball up, there was only one thought in his mind, and that was to hit it. And went really close.
You know, Pat, it's interesting to note that the last time the San Jose Quakes scored more than 2 goals was on July the 12th, and that's about 5 games ago. And so that's pretty good.
Since the Quakes have lost every game since then, Julie, it seems like it might be even longer than 5 weeks ago.
5 games ago.
5 games ago, beg your pardon. I never could read calendars. Bradford and Sargent around the ball. Here's Sargent. Sargent will try to put one into the middle. There it goes. Look out. Head ball away by Churchman. One touch by Maseko, and now Moffat kicks it forward, but Hewitt is right there.
Looks like Detroit's brought 2 new players on here.
Coming in for Detroit is Gary Bannister, number 8. He's another player that played for Coventry City, English First Division. David after this one, but he won't get there. Jim Brown, the goalkeeper, starts the Detroit attack.
Good pressure by Judd. Call for a foul, however.
One of the players the Detroit team has brought on is Mark Hateley. His father was a very famous soccer player in England. And actually, when we played Detroit in Detroit, he was having a tremendous game, and they actually took him off, I think, with about 20 minutes left. And much to our relief, he looked like the only one who was going to do anything.
Why'd they take him out, George?
I don't know. He was winning every ball in the air. You know, he's a big guy, and it was causing us all sorts of problems.
This is number 9.
Mark Hateley.
Mark Hateley, that's
absolutely.
It, yeah.
Number 9 in the orange shirts. That's who George is talking about. There he is right there.
Oh, he's tall, isn't he?
Not working real hard at the moment, though. The Express coming on attack now. Hateley had his leg on the ball, but could not control it as Bob Murphy makes his way back upstairs. Murph, you didn't break any records getting back up here.
No, I had to have a little visit with my old pal, John Carbray.
Did you guys settle the problems of the world?
Yeah, we were working on the problems of the earthquakes. And Billy Carter, we touched on a little bit. Hair transplant. We talked about a hair transplant for Julie. Rewrote Best contract.
You guys were busy, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Hewitt now bangs it away.
John's a good guy. I've got an awful lot of admiration and respect for him.
Silvera touched that one over the sidelines. Detroit ball. San Jose leading 2-1. 31 minutes to play in the game. Second half. San Jose scoring. Steve David had a goal. Judd Pavlovich had the other. Jim Holton getting Detroit's only tally.
We couldn't see it from the far end of the stadium, Pat and George, Julie, but it looked like Nikolic just made a great play setting Pavlovich up.
He did. I think what happened, they tried to play a defensive move, and they all came out at the same time. And Nicky saw that, you know, there's maybe a chance of someone being cut offside, and he just took it himself. Made a great play.
Well done. Well, I'll tell you, George, that is the place to watch a soccer match from the end, because you can see so many more things happen. The crossing shots, the shots on the goal.
Yeah, that's when I played at Manchester United, you know, they used to pack 20,000 people behind the goals, and religiously, week after week. And good play by Andres.
Maseko.
Maseko cleared it away very nicely. The ball in a dangerous area there momentarily.
That was a scissors kick.
Quakes have outshot Detroit 4-0 so far in this half.
Cross into the middle by Oates. Nikolic is there, though. And here comes Ratonski, who's been very much involved in the offensive attack tonight for the Quakes.
Yeah, Vasas had a tremendous game tonight. He looks like he's got a magnet in his foot.
Really, George.
Here's that scissors kick by Andres Masekos. There it is. Beautiful.
Oh, he'll be talking about that all night.
Well, he's had two good plays tonight. That scissors kick and the shot where he pivoted and full volleyed it.
The near goal on that one, that's right.
Carbre was pretty definite about you buying lunch, George.
Yeah, I thought he might be. I knew there had to be a catch in it somewhere.
That's right. Here's some wild action near the midfield area. Judd Pavlovich gets it. Pavlovich coming upfield. Pavlovich has a goal tonight. He wants to cross it. Pavlovich getting down into a good area. Pavlovich loses it. Nice play by Detroit's defense. However, San Jose gets it right back. In the middle, Maseko winds up, fires.
Oh, great shot.
Jim Brown made a spectacular save.
Boy, Andres hit a bullet, didn't he? Watch this shot. Oh, boy.
Boy, and he got, you know, like we were talking the other night, George, he really got set up for that one, didn't he?
Yeah, you could say the same as I said earlier about Steve. You know, as soon as he had got there, you knew there was only one thought in his mind, and that was to take a crack at it.
Mihalovic, go ahead.
This is as well as I've seen Andres play for a long time. He's, yeah, I said earlier, everyone seems to be enjoying it tonight. It looks like there's no pressure at all on anyone.
Yeah, they seem to be relaxed, don't they?
Yeah.
Here's David now. He's trying to get around the one defender. David launches a cross, and it goes too far. It'll go over the sideline. Detroit throw in here.
George, maybe you can buy Carbre a $10 lunch and get 10% of the franchise.
Right.
Huh?
I'll go for that.
Detroit played against San Jose a couple of years ago in Detroit. Earthquake fans don't want to remember it really, but it did happen, we have to tell you. Detroit won the game 10-0, and that's the largest margin of victory ever for a team in the NASL. In that game, Trevor Francis had 5 goals. Maseko lost it, and here's Angus Moffat. Detroit on the attack now, but they lose it. Mike Hewitt. Mike Hunter, the first pick in the major indoor soccer league with the Detroit Lightning. In fact, San Jose had 3 or 4 players that played for Detroit in the indoor league. Chris Turner, Ani Mihalovic, Mike Hunter. All 3 saw action. Hiddink. Good defensive play, though, by Moffat. Hiddink was trying to go to Ratonski.
I was kind of surprised that Milan didn't have the Yugoslav basketball team playing here at halftime tonight. Wouldn't you, Julie?
Are they in the country?
Well, no, but he sent for them. They won the Olympic gold medal.
Maseko, what a play! That was incredible the way he got himself by that one defender. What magic that was. That's something you can't really teach a player. That was so nice a moment ago. It's a Quakes throw in.
I think you're right, George. I think that was really a good observation. Maseko playing so well and just playing hang loose.
All of them seem to be that way.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing. You see the team play as well as this, you know, and wonder, you know, why we've got a record as bad as it is. You know, when you see them play like this.
The advantage rule was invoked that time. Ratonski was tripped up, and then it was lost out of bounds by Maseko, so not much of an advantage, really. Tonight also George Best poster night.
How long did it take you to sit down and autograph those thousands of posters, George?
I was up all night doing it.
Yeah, I figured you weren't.
And if you believe that, you believe anything.
At least you don't have to write Mihailovic or something.
Right.
That's right. Here's Sargent into the box, but Hewitt comes up. Mike has anticipated lots of plays very nicely tonight.
Look at that action.
And Bannister blocks the goal kick. Now Mihailovic is being talked to. I didn't know you could block a kick like that.
No, I think if you show it again here.
I think he was.
And he pushes the guy.
Yeah, he wasn't paying attention to what was happening in front of the goal with the goalkeeper.
There was some pushing and shoving, though.
Yeah.
I think you'll watch here. Ani pushes the guy.
In the meantime, the
watch
goalie
this
would
here
be,
now.
Yeah. There's the push.
That could have been dangerous.
It'll be a free kick, San Jose.
Did anybody see a yellow card there? Did we?
I don't believe so, Murph.
He didn't give a card.
I think so.
Hewitt, a long ball, slipping and falling was David. And now Moffat has it for Detroit. It's 2-1 San Jose. Midway through the second half. Long ball, foot race. Moffat can't get there. Actually, it was Bradford. San Jose now trying to come up with an attack. They lose it, though. This could be trouble. Hately blocked by Churchman. Hately goes to the left side where number 14 McGill will run it down. Can't get there. It's over the sideline. All right, in midfield now, Moffat comes to this side to Bradford. Bradford lofts a nice ball to Hately. Churchman, a violent collision. Hately
oh boy, he really
is
took
hurting.
him out, yeah.
Churchman's going to get at least a yellow card, and there it is. Hately is holding his head. He was spun around and fell down after he made contact with Churchman. Let's watch it again. A tough-looking play, George and Julie.
Yeah, this was a bad tackle here. Yeah, see with his foot up. Very lucky. It was just outside the penalty area.
Yeah.
So Hately might have gotten kicked in the head or in the face area.
Appears to be all right.
The Earthquakes with just a two-man wall because that angle is so adverse. Still Mike Hewitt very much paying attention to the situation here. It'll be Steve Sargent.
This is where Hately can be dangerous if they get it up there.
He got good elevation on it. Head ball by Hately.
Oh,
and Mihailovic kicked it out of the hands of Hewitt. Not much communication that time. It's still loose in the troublesome area. And finally Hiddink gets rid of it. And now David. But we've got a foul on David. David is mad. Detroit wants to get the ball and put it in play. David still talking with Morgan.
Morgan's not going to let the game get going, Pat. He wants to do a little chatting out there. Expert commentary. George Best says that's where Hately can be dangerous, and about a second half later we almost have a goal off Hately's head.
Really?
That was the same head that was banged up only a few moments before.
Hately, another head
There is
ball.
again, yeah.
This time somebody offsides, I believe, for Detroit, though. George, that was kind of a dangerous situation a minute ago when Mihaljevic got back and kicked the ball almost out of Hewitt's hands. That could have resulted in kind of a muff and a possible shot for Detroit.
Yeah, that's that's a lack of communication somewhere. That's where it's very important that defenders have got to communicate with the goalkeeper. That area belongs to Mike Hewitt. Whatever he says goes.
Well, as soon as it happened, Hewitt kind of used his hands as if to say, "Why don't you move out a little bit? Give me a little bit of room out here." But you can't really fault Mihaljevic that much because he was just hustling and doing his job. There have been times this year when a play like that would have been very welcome indeed.
Oh yeah, many times.
And it was not forthcoming.
Boy, it is rough down there now.
Yeah, it is. Here's another head ball possibility.
We're down to 21.5 minutes to play in the game. San Jose leading Detroit 2-1. That's trouble. And the head ball by Hately off to the left.
Oh boy, it just missed.
So yeah, I'd say Hately's a good head ball shooter. Here it is again.
Well, he must be about 6'3", wouldn't you say?
Yeah, his father was the same. He didn't miss many in that penalty area when they come in.
Mike Hewitt has the goal kick from his 6-yard goal box. Goal line, really.
It's a free kick.
Free kick for San Jose. Foul called on David McGill. McGill was a teammate of Chris Turner of San Jose on the Canadian national youth team a couple of years ago. Mihaljevic to take this free kick. Ratonski also in the vicinity. It goes to Vasa. Blocked by Bannister. Blocked by Oates. Oates after it. Ratonski, nice play. Here comes Vasa. The Quakes with David and Pavlovic hanging around the penalty area. Mihaljevic shoots. It's deflected away. Here comes Oates. Oates a long ball, but Hewitt a glue-fingered catch.
Offside call there.
It's impressive as we see that there are 20 minutes to play that Ratonski has gotten so much into the offense tonight from his defensive spot, but maybe that time a moment ago he got a little over-exuberant, George, and that can be costly, especially on the counterattack for the other team.
Yeah, we've got to be careful here. On that break, I think looking back on it, we were a man short defensively, and we've got to be careful on that.
Now Oates has the ball, the top scorer. Scissors kick, head ball away by Nikolic. It's pushed forward and then back toward the Quakes goal. It's like a yo-yo right now. Nobody wants to control it.
Boy, David is way downfield too, George.
Yeah.
A little uncommon for him to be that deep.
Hewitt comes up to the edge of the penalty area to grab that ball. Nice play by Mike Hunter. Hunter goes to David, back to Hunter. Hunter still with it, loses it. Mike Hunter might have waited a little bit too long himself that time to get rid of it again. Thought we might see a wall pass from David to Hunter, right back to David. I think that's what Mike really wanted to do.
Yeah, I think that lane was shut off from him, Pat, and I don't think he got the ball just where I wanted it either.
Hately goes forward. Hately's kick will go over the sidelines. San Jose will have a throw in here.
Time's becoming a factor now. About 18.5 minutes left in this ball game.
We'd like to welcome the new Sports Channel viewers in the cities of Napa, Walnut Creek, Hayward, San Leandro, Foster City, Watsonville, and Capitola. Glad to have you aboard. The Earthquakes on the attack. Coming out with it now for Detroit, Angus Moffett. He goes to the near side. It's Bannister. Bannister just came into the game in the second half. wants to cross it. Does so. A wall pass attempt, but it goes awry. Moffitt tried to give it right back to Bannister, and it cost him. Now Oates.
This will be Mike's ball, yeah. At the moment, Pat, San Jose has already committed 23 fouls. They're just 13 short of the team record at the moment for fouls. That was against Los Angeles on April 14th, 1976.
You didn't play for the Aztecs that year, did you?
Yeah.
You were, all right.
I didn't commit any of the fouls, though.
Of course not. Here's a long ball for Detroit. By the way, the Express will be playing the rest of the game without Hato Marjetic. He was one of the players they substituted for when they brought in Bannister and Haitley. Marjetic might have been a little shaken up. Normally, you don't replace a player of his caliber. Marjetic with 10 assists this year.
I like these plays that Detroit comes up with. Let's see what they do this time. Will they swing it around that right side, do you think, George?
I would think they'd look for Haitley again.
There it is.
Bradford, he went to Haitley, but Nikolic got ahead on it. And now here comes Mike Hunter. Hunter's pass intercepted nicely by Jim Hagan. But this one will land in the first row.
Yeah, I think the longer the game goes on now, you know, and they'll start to hit everything high. Look for Haitley, I think.
Steve! Julie, we're getting to the point in the game. When do you think the Quakes will start trying to knock the ball around and keep it away from Detroit? It's got to be soon here.
Well, I think Hewitt right now is eating up a little time. You know, he's taking his time in clearing the ball. He's not hurrying it up. But they're not falling back into a defensive shell either, which I think is good.
David, nice job to control that ball. Lays it off to Maseko. Maseko plays it to Silvera. Silvera being pushed backward. Goes to Churchman on the zigzag. Here's Hunter again. Nice ball to Maseko. Led him a bit too much. And that's the end of this possession. The pace has slowed down here in the last 20, 25 minutes. After San Jose took a 2-1 lead in the first minute of the second half on a goal by Judd Pavlovich, assisting beautifully Nicky Nikolic and also Ani Mahalovic. That's a lot of bitches in there. Rutanski. Vasa. Look at Rutanski aggressively go after that ball. Rutanski now squares away.
Oh, wait a minute.
We've got a major fight breaking out right now. Several players upset. Oates is kicking a member of the Quakes. Oates is being pushed. Meantime, Maseko and Marjetic going at it.
Boy, somebody's down. There's a Detroit player down and out.
Sauter and Jim Brown going at it. Billy Sauter not even in the game. He's in his warm-up suit, and he came out and punched the goalkeeper. And now Churchman has his hands around Brown, and order seems to be restored.
You know, you could kind of feel that coming. The collisions have been more frequent. The grabbing, the pushing.
Well, it's going to take a while to sort this out.
So, George, maybe it was a good game to sit out.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It seemed to... Go ahead, George.
I think that started a couple of the Detroit players looked like they went for Rutanski.
Here's a replay on this. Let's see what happens here.
See a couple of times here. This is the first one. Kicks him, and then I think another player comes in here as well.
Rutanski's still playing soccer.
Yeah, another player comes in here, tries to kick him. I think that's what started it.
Now, a player came from the blind side to get Rutanski right there. Yeah. That's what really started the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then all heck broke loose.
Who do they go after? Is that Hunter just out of our picture to the left they went after, I think? Boy, there was some real wild scrambling there.
Number 5 there.
Billy Sauter was kind of bored over on the bench, so he got into it with Jim Brown a little bit, the goalkeeper.
I wouldn't argue with Bill. He's not the type of guy to argue with.
That's Moffitt, who was really banged up. Here it is again.
Let's see if we can find out who the Detroit player was who came up and blindsided Ratonski.
Here he comes from the left side of your picture right now.
Yeah, it's number 5.
Watch from the left side, upper left part of the picture. Watch this.
It's
Boy,
Sam Oates.
that is really a cheap shot right here.
Sam Oates, definitely, right here. Look out, Vasa.
That is brutal. That is just brutal.
And then the Quakes quickly retaliated. Still, players milling around. Now watch Churchman, I think, on the right side.
I think this is where everyone gets involved here. Yeah. You take care of your own.
Churchman comes up around that little guy there. Let's see what happens here. That had to hurt a little bit.
Boy, I'll tell you know what I worry about in these things, George? The people coming out of the stands. And you got to take your hat off to the Earthquake fans. They restrain themselves. It would be easy for them to get down on this field.
Oh yeah,
they didn't do that.
I know a lot of places in Europe that'd be on the field at the moment.
Some countries they have barbed wire on the field, don't
Yeah,
they?
they need it.
Boy, that is something.
The clock, of course, has been stopped at 14:57. Players still milling around. There's a lot of policemen now on the far side. Order seems to be restored. And now it's going to be a big decision for the referees. Who do you give a yellow or a red card to? It seems like you could give yellow cards to probably about half the players on each team.
Well,
maybe.
if they saw what we saw, Oates would be out of the contest.
Yeah.
But I think they missed that. See all those police officers down there. Reminds us that the PAL All-Star game is coming up on Tuesday, Pat. Hope all of you will come out and take a look at the very best in Santa Clara County as far as high school football players are concerned. Tuesday night right here in Spartan Stadium. There you see it.
I think since that fight broke out, it's a good time for another little public service announcement here. What does almost every swimming instructor and lifeguard have in common? They have received training from the Red Cross. Now all of you swimmers can help Red Cross teach others the same skills. Swim in a Red Cross swim-across being held throughout August at numerous Santa Clara County pools. Proceeds will help support Red Cross safety education. Join in the fun and get in the swim. Call 292-6242 for more. And speaking of more, the fans getting more than they paid for here tonight. They've seen an outstanding soccer game. San Jose leading 2-1 with 14:57 to play. And we've had a major altercation really break out here in the last 5 minutes.
Got a note from my old pal Joe Scaletta during the week, Pat, a great San Jose State Spartan booster. Very active in the quarterback club, and the San Jose State Quarterback Club is sponsoring a flea market right here at Spartan Stadium. You see the stats there with 15 minutes to play. The flea market will be held here on Sunday, August 10th. For $9, you can set up yourself in business. You could probably figure out some kind of business to go in for $9, couldn't you, Joey?
Well, I'm giving it some serious thought.
Sell that hairpiece of yours. Where is that thing? You used to feed that thing?
You know, George, it's kind of interesting. You know, a fight just broke out, but it's a very tough game. I'm surprised there aren't more fights, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, when you think, it's a physical game for 90 minutes, you'd expect a lot more.
Well, one reason, Pat, is that they don't have any pads or any protective gear like those hockey guys and the football guys. I think you're more inclined to get involved physically if you got a little protection.
The fans were booing there a minute ago, Bob, because when that fight broke out, San Jose seemed to have the ball. I thought Ratonski was in control and they called a foul on Detroit. However, after the altercation, they gave Detroit the free kick.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand what was going on there.
Well, they didn't see what Oates did, I'll promise you that.
Well, I can't believe after all that it didn't look like the referee gave any yellow cards at all.
No, I don't think he did.
He might not have that many.
Don't you think that they just sort of figure when a thing gets that far out of control and they can't really isolate the start or the cause of it, it's best just to get the game back on track the best way you can?
Probably, yeah. Otherwise, we'd probably be playing five-a-side at the moment.
It'd be wide open soccer.
Yeah.
That flea market, just to finish that little piece of information, will take place on Julie Soccer Field just north of Spartan Stadium, adjoining Spartan Stadium. The public will be admitted at 8:30 a.m. Admission is free. There'll be refreshments. Sounds like a nice day. San Jose State Spartan Quarterback Club flea market right here adjoining Spartan Stadium on Sunday, August 10th. I want to thank our old buddy Joe Scaletta for letting us know that.
All right, the Earthquakes lead 2-1. Pavlovich drills one, but Jim Brown is right there. And now Gary Bannister has it. You know, Brown was involved in a scuffle. We'll talk about that in a minute. Steve David after the ball. David trying to cross it. David now loses it. Silvera slid for it, couldn't get it. San Jose throw in though. David, good persistence to get that ball back. 13.5 minutes to play. Earthquakes 2, Express 1. Ratajski has it go by him. I don't believe anyone was injured from that scuffle a moment ago, and happy to say that. Sometimes people can get seriously injured when a couple of people lose their heads like that. Pavlovich now being pushed and fouled by Jim Hagan. It has been a spirited battle out here tonight from the outset. Excellent soccer. Hitting the free kick. He went for the shot.
Oh, boy.
And he whistles it just over the crossbar.
Oh, he put something on that one, didn't he?
That was a free kick, and Gus almost pounded it into the net.
Just missed it.
That was close.
Ball seemed to take off a little bit too much. Reminds us of a free kick scored by Oscar Fabiani of the Tampa Bay Rowdies some weeks ago. We don't want to talk about that game too much, though, George.
Not really, no.
Time running down now for Detroit. We're down to the 12-minute mark to play right now. The Quakes crowd as fired up as they have been in several games. San Jose with 2 home games left this year. August 16th against Portland, and then August the 23rd against the Los Angeles Aztecs. That will be a tough game. LA is tough. Hiddink got his head on it.
Get a kick out of these fans. Some of those same fans who might have been heard booing earlier in the night are the same ones that are crying for the scalps of this Detroit team. It's okay for them to get a little rough with their own Quakes, but they don't want anybody else messing with them, George.
Yeah, right.
That's good. San Jose beat Detroit 1-0 earlier this year in a shootout. Here's the free kick by Dargle. Head ball attempt by Haitley, but look who's there, Steve David. Ratajski heads it away. Here comes Maseko. He goes to Pavlovich. Pavlovich trying to work some magic. He gets around one man. Pavlovich boots it forward, and Jim Brown comes out to snuff it out. George, you know, goalkeepers, they're kind of a different breed. They're back in the goal, and I don't think the other players sometimes, well, it's hard to, what I'm saying really is, it's like a field goal kicker in football, really.
Oh,
he's a specialist.
Oh, you gotta be crazy. You gotta be crazy to be a goalkeeper.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, right.
But he was right over there with Sauter on the bench during that little fight a moment ago. Here's Hunter. David is upset. He felt the foul should have been called. The Detroit player came up from behind Hunter, it looked like. They didn't call anything. 10 minutes to play in the game. San Jose clinging to a 2-1 lead. This ball goes over the sideline. Joe Silvera to throw it in.
Be sure that those Detroit players are thinking about those playoff hopes out there right now.
Nice blind kick by Maseko. Well, Detroit, they really need this game to stay alive in the wild card picture. Not to stay alive really, but to continue to have that spot. Bradford takes it away from Silvera. Bradford goes to number 22, Eddie Dietz.
Go in, Nicky.
He lost it. Quakes ball.
You know, the Quakes are really playing hard tonight, George. I don't know what it is. Maybe the fight has something to do with it, but every player with intensity and real aggressiveness out there.
Oh, they really are. They're going for everything. A lot of effort. Steve back there. Not very often you see Steve back in the halfway line fighting for a ball.
Well, a moment ago he made a nice play on defense. This ball is over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Detroit, I think. Wait a minute.
It's given a corner, I think.
It's going to be a corner kick.
Tonight's crowd, 10,811, and you can hear them all in the background. That's quite a tribute to a team that's 7-19, isn't it?
Here's a replay on that last play.
It was a very weird decision here.
Yes, it was.
I don't know how he's given a corner.
It looked to me like a goal kick.
No complaining, no, we've got it.
That's right. Gus Hiddink to take the corner kick. He's taking his time. Clock is stopped right now with 8:08 to play. The in-swinger kick, head ball away by Holton. Jimmy Holton scored the only goal for Detroit tonight. Another one. And Pavlovich couldn't quite get there. Goal kick for Detroit. Here's Jim Brown. He booms one upfield. And the Quakes promptly take control of it. Mike Hunter. Pavlovich. Maseko kicking it backwards, but Mike Hewitt is there. Had Hewitt come out a couple of more yards, he would not have been able to use his hands that time. He can only use them in that penalty area, of course. Maseko tripped up by Sargent.
There's a card.
Yellow card, Steve Sargent. Maseko a bit shaken up, and he's all right. Another glance here, man.
What's the reason for that, George? Figured that was dangerous?
Yeah, he came in very late.
Flagrant?
Yeah. Wasn't really vicious, he just, took him out of it.
7 minutes, 13 seconds to play. San Jose trying to equal their number of wins for 1978 and 1979. They're going for their 8th win. Hiddink, he might blast one. He does, off to the right. Look out, Shakers.
That little gal will feel like she was in the ball game.
She got nailed right on the ankle. I better keep my binoculars on that for a second and make sure she's all right. All right.
Were you able to see the ankle too, Pat?
Here's Hunter. Maseko has it knocked away out of bounds, and it's a Quakes ball. Steve Sargent hit it last. Good interception by Detroit's Dargle that time. Sargent rolls one up to Bradford. He's guarded tightly by Silvera. Silvera tackles one away. Sargent arguing with Bradford.
Get the hell away from the ball.
Well, you heard it right here on the Sports Channel. This is trouble. Sargent, nice cross. Nikolic got a head on it. It's still in a dangerous area, though. Silvera, a nice tackle, and Hunter takes the ball. Maseko can't get there. Dargle touches it. Now Oates, and then Silvera hits it out. Dargle inbounds to Oates. Time down to 5.5 minutes to play. Quakes double teaming the man in the box that time. Silvera got ahead. Oates the kick, blocked by Ratonski. David after it. Also Hagen, and Hagen wins the 50-50 ball. Here's Oates. Sargent. Down to 5 minutes to play. Hitting, kicks it back to Mike Hewitt. Well, with 5 minutes here, you know Detroit's going to keep trying to put the pressure on. Is there any particular one thing to remember, George or Julie, when a team is coming at you like that? To play good defense, I know that, but
Yeah, well,
anything aside from that?
Well, they're working on the clock now. The clock is very important to the Quakes.
There's Pavlovich. Sorry, Julie. Maseko. He's open. He shoots. No. Blocked. Corner kick. Sorry, Julie. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, with only 4 minutes left, why every second that the Quakes can kill is good. Here's a replay on that.
Maseko, quick start, quick stop that time, and almost got himself open for a goal. 4:05 left. Make it 4:06.
I think Rutonski looks like he's hurt. Might be
got a
substitution
cramp.
here. Yeah.
I think he's got a cramp.
Well, he's sitting down to the right of midfield from where we are. Trainer Frank Avila hustles out. Referee Robert Morgan over to take a look. Number 22 there, that's Eddie Dietz looking on. Vasa has had a magnificent game here tonight. I'd like to thank Steve DeGeorge, the fine public relations director of the Earthquakes, for his great work all season and also tonight, of course. Ken Droz serving in the same capacity for the Detroit Express. Thanks, man. All right, play is ready to resume here. Here comes the kick, and it's taken, snatched nicely by Jim Brown. The Earthquakes will hit the road for 2 games after this game here tonight. Here's Churchman. The Quakes just trying to repulse every attack mustered here by the Detroit Express, and so far in the second half, they've done a creditable job. 3:40 remaining, 3-4-0. San Jose will be visiting Chicago on August the 9th. That's a week from Saturday, or a week from tonight. And then Memphis, August 12th. Those are both road games. They'll be back in town on the 16th to take on Portland. Game time, 8 o'clock, don't miss out. Rutonski in midfield. Hiddink. Hiddink gets by a man. Hiddink goes to Pavlovich.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh!
Judd Pavlovich. Pavlovich gets his second goal of the night, his 4th goal of the season. It was a perfect pass to him. I know that Rutonski started the play. I'm not sure who gave that last pass, so I can't recall, George.
I think
Julie?
it was Gus Hiddink pushed the ball.
Hiddink, it was Hiddink.
Here's a replay.
Here's Hiddink to Pavlovich.
Yeah, great ball from Gus there. Goalkeeper comes out to try and narrow the angle. Just slips it past him.
And no defender could get back to cover for the goalkeeper. San Jose leads 3-1, and that just about wraps it up. 2:44 to play. The Earthquakes playing very well again tonight against a team that just might be in the playoffs this year. Their last win came against the California Surf, a team that most assuredly will be in the playoffs. So the Quakes, a hard team to figure out in 1980.
Oh, boy.
Silvera tripped up.
Oh, he deliberately kicked Silvera. He deserved a red card.
Silvera's left knee is really hurting him right now.
Watch. He really let him have it.
Terrible. Silvera writhing in the ground in pain. Frank Avila out to take a look. It was Steve Sargent, a very vicious foul that time. Dr. Mayfield Harris comes out onto the pitch as well. The clock, of course, has halted. 2 minutes, 26 seconds to play. 3-1 San Jose. to see that, George. Julie, it's born of frustration. You know Detroit is upset with the way they have played tonight, and now they're resorting to somewhat dirty tactics. Silvera is able to walk, and he might be able to stay in the game. He's hanging tough. Silvera is going to stay in the game. Joe, one of those tough young players that it practically takes a crowbar to get him out of the lineup. David trying to hustle one down on the side. And it's a Quakes throw-in. Clock running down near the 2-minute mark right now. San Jose leading by a couple of goals. The Earthquakes shooting for their 8th win of the year against 19 losses. This loss will push Detroit to 12-15. San Jose winning for the 6th time here at Spartan Stadium this year, here tonight. I think we can safely say they've pretty much got it wrapped up. Less than 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I don't think there's much danger at the moment.
But you know, when Trevor Francis had those 5 goals in the one game against San Jose, he had 2 in 1:44 seconds. Here come the Quakes. They're in the driver's seat right now. 1:20 to go. San Jose on top 3-1. A pair of second-half goals by Judd Pavlovich after Steve David scored the first Quakes goal. And San Jose also, to consider this, they've scored 3 goals tonight, so they're going to get the maximum number of points in the standings. This is a 9-point win right here. Quakes now have a total of 82 points. And San Jose now needing only 25 points to catch up and possibly get that last wild card berth. 40 seconds left. You can see the time at the top of your picture. It's a good one to watch, George. I know you wish you were there.
Yeah, the boys have played tremendously well tonight. You know, this is a sort of win that, especially in our situation, that's needed with a road trip coming up. Great confidence builder.
Julie, it's also refreshing to see after the Quakes struggled in the first 2 games of this 3-game homestand.
Right. Well, they wanted to win this one tonight, and they just set out to do it.
The crowd beginning the countdown. It's a happy group that's going to file out of Spartan Stadium tonight. There it is. The final score. The San Jose Earthquakes 3, the Detroit Express 1. We'll be back.